everybody. Welcome back to Collateral Damage. Today we've got a battle report for the SemiFinals March Madness game. I'm Sean playing Old Umbrey. We've got Will playing Thornfall.
Hey everybody.
And let's jump straight into it. So for list, we're playing the same stuff that we've been playing for the whole tournament, getting close to wrapping up. So if you want to go back and see any of the specifics there, just feel free to head back to one of the previous videos that we've had. And we can go ahead and jump into the scenario for this mission.
All right, for today's game, we have Point of No Return. This is where there's quite a few caches and two 40mm unit objectives on the flanks for us to score. So this can be quite the scoring game, just with each one scoring 1 point. One thing to note, we did forget to roll the variants that would have affected this mission as well. So going forward, it was just a pretty standard 50 point.
Hey everybody, we're going to interrupt your battle report for a second. I'm here with Lore Master himself, Sherwin.
Hello, how you doing?
Pretty good, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, you having a good Adepticon?
Oh, Adepticon's been great, what about you?
Yeah, it's been really, really good. I love meeting new players, I love hanging out playing casual games. It's been awesome, so.
It's been absolutely amazing, and we got to play in his narrative campaign, which you can see behind us over the weekend, and it was amazing. There's stuff going everywhere, portals. I'll put a bunch of little shots on the screen for you, but it was, if you ever get a chance to come and play in one of his narrative campaigns, do it. It's going to be some of the best wargaming you've ever played. We were thinking about trying to sneak into this one, but we had about a million other things to do before we left.
Well, I'm glad you had fun playing in the one you did, so all good.
And as you know, we're doing this March Madness thing right now, so kind of had a little questions about the Frontier packet. I know you're the co-author on it. I know, like, what made you decide to stay with the 4x4, which I like, but I know, like, the quick scenario, I was thinking it would shrink down to a 3x3. Was that just kind of working out weird, or?
No, so one of the things we wanted to do is make it so that it didn't feel completely disconnected from Steamroller and competitive play. So as much as there's a very different philosophy that goes into how the game is played, in terms of the actual interactions, what we wanted to do is make it so that if someone wanted to, start playing using the casual pack and then wanted to step into Steamroller, they're not suddenly going, okay, I need to learn a whole new board type now.
Gotcha.
I need to learn lots of different things. Yeah. And we kind of bounced around ideas about potentially making it so you measure from the middle and it gives players options to have different sizes. But ultimately, the most straightforward way of doing it is saying, you play on a 4x4 and go.
Yeah, I like it, and the 4x4 works really good. Did you guys have difficulty kind of bringing the objectives in and kind of figuring out how that worked? Because it feels, when you're playing it, it's perfect. You're not spreading out too far, you can still get things done, but in a traditional Steamroller format, playing 50 points, it's, this is never going to get scored, or that's never going to get scored.
Yeah, I think some of it is about understanding that you are going to have different size game, like, when you're at 50, losing one thing is really pivotal, right? Yeah. Because that massively affects the game.
Right.
And it's understanding that where things are positioned around is actually very much a tactical decision. Like, you don't want as early, there's a couple scenarios where you have, here's a flag placement. You can put it up near the front line, which makes it easier for your opponent to capture, or you can do it back where it's safe, which makes it harder for them, but in doing so, you sacrifice one of your units because now they're really out of position to hang on to this, for example. And that's just one of the examples that always goes into it. But what we really want to do is think about going, because you're going to have a limited pool of models, we need to keep them in more, draw them in. But at the same time, that doesn't mean we can't pull them out in different directions. We have to think more sensibly about it.
Right.
So, kind of a bit of testing, a bit of intuition on what that stuff looked like. I mean, we took from a lot of places, like, we took from Warmachine, we took from various different casual things that we've done, but also a lot of the stuff we play in the actual office themselves. Like, this is not our first rodeo on this stuff. Like,
No,
we've played games like this for a very long time.
Right. And you can definitely tell in all the stuff you guys do that you love this game. And it's really refreshing. What is your favorite scenario?
That's a lot of scenarios. So
in the book, there's still a lot of scenarios.
Yeah, so I love Street by Street.
Yeah.
And I've used it as part of what this scenario is over here on the construction site table. Street by Street is probably my absolute favorite from the pack. It's just absolute carnage is the best way to describe it, where you have so many models, and right from go it just goes into it, which is really cool. Outside of that, I quite like Seize the Initiative in the casual play packs. There's quite a few ones which are interesting, but that's asking me to choose a favourite child. Right. I think they all have their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah. I like the Seize the Initiative one. That's the one we played first, and it was a blast.
Yeah.
The chart that you can roll on to get different things, Did I go through a lot of iterations? Because it feels very balanced. Even though it changes the game, it doesn't destroy the play experience for somebody.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, yes, it absolutely did. The key thing is we had a lot of philosophy about what we were trying to do with that. We wanted Matt was like a big focus of saying, well, I want it to feel like it's going to be something where we're coming in halfway through a game. He wanted that to be the big drive of how it was. So that's why you got lots of different deployment stuff, moving things around, and all sorts of stuff like that, which is cool. I wanted to introduce a few more of like, a few nods to the older stuff, like there's the morale rules, a few things like that. Some of like the AoEs and the caches and things that you could do. I wanted to introduce a few more wild elements into the game that way. And then, obviously testing, we went for a few iterations of it. The most entertaining part, of course, was when we sat down with Fraser, one of our more competitive mode finding players. I was like, cool, so what do you think about these things? Till one look at like the shit, and he was like, I'm going to know any of that stuff. And I'm like, then we have succeeded.
That is perfect.
Yeah, perfect. No, in all seriousness, Fraser, very, very good player. He kind of went, oh, we need to change this and this because this could happen. I'm like, that could happen, so let's not do that. But outside of that,
you guys have done a very good job balancing it. And it like I said, it changes that element of the game, but doesn't break the game.
Yeah.
So it's always really good. With all these different things in these scenarios and we're about to ramp up our own campaign. We're going to do the campaign book from there. Is there plans to do in the future like a different campaign, like the stuff with Crix and Cephalix? Is there plans to do that coming out in the future, or?
So, Tales from the Frontlines is the starting point for this.
Yeah.
It's not like a one and done. We're not just put that out and now we're moving away from it.
Yeah.
As Matt said in the keynote, every February every year it's like, okay, new casual pack. And what Tales from the Frontline is us building on that. We now have, much like the early Steamrollers, we now have a format that we can build on. Now, in that, I want to see faction-specific tables, I want to see some more interesting scenarios, doubles, like all sorts of really intensely asymmetric scenarios, and then some stuff where you try to do some really crazy stuff, like get from one side of the board to the other side of the board with some recursion thrown in for the attackers. Like maybe it's like city assaults where you're trying to like raise buildings to the ground, stuff like that. There's so many ideas you can do.
That'd be awesome.
This. So, but what I didn't want to do is go like too crazy from go, because obviously at that point, when you go deviate too far, that's when players kind of take a look at this and go, whoa, you've gone way too far.
Yeah.
Whereas if you build it up slowly, engender a lot of confidence in what we're doing, that's when people start to get really hyped about what it is, and then they'll have more confidence going into next year and be able to push the envelope a little bit further and do more stuff. Plus, it gives us a whole year of feedback. Like, people can talk to us and say, hey, do you know what? That table was a bit too wacky for what we did, or actually that was a bit unbalanced for us and we didn't necessarily work too well that way. So it gives us loads of time to learn what the wider community is doing. So.
Yeah. We, with all the faction terrain that's been coming out stuff too, that gives you some really cool options to do things with. So
yeah, I mean, one of the best things about the campaign that I really love is, unsurprisingly, storytelling. I love the idea that people can use this to help as a vehicle to help build up their own terrain, their own stories. The terrain obviously can do a big part of that, but like for me, it's like having that campaign sort of side of things where you can actually literally go, well, this is the story of us all landing on like this old ruins, these moored ruins that we're now exploring, and we can grab all these different parts of this sea, and so I can go away and draw a city map or whatever else and tell stories about what's happening there. And the actual games become, their own thing. They almost build on their own life, which is really cool. Yeah. That's what I think a good campaign should always do. And that's what I want this to do. So.
You've done a great job with that. And I also like using the casual play scenarios for new people. It's a lot easier for them. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 parts of it, as you know, and the first part was very much, well, this is great if you haven't got much time to play, this is great if you want to give a demo to someone, like, really, really good for that. This is great if you're someone who doesn't necessarily want to understand, like, steamroll scenarios, I do like them all, but some of them can be quite convoluted in terms of, so this moves here if you do certain things, or we add tokens to this one, or whatever else. Like, that kind of stuff, that can be great, but if you're an experienced player and know how to manipulate it, if you don't, then some of that stuff can just be bewildering, right? So you want something that's a bit more straightforward sometimes for some of the players. And also, sometimes you just don't want to do something that's a bit more straightforward to play. So that's the first part. Obviously, the Journeyman. Obviously, I love a Journeyman.
Oh,
league.
yeah.
It might be Matt's first Journeyman league. He's currently playing it.
Oh, really?
As you said in the keynote, I'm on like my 20th now, I think. Like I've played so many armies from kids.
They're so much fun.
I love a Journeyman league. So yeah. And then obviously now we go on to the campaign, and campaign's the last part. We already talked about that.
Yeah. So. That's great. Well, one more question, and I'll let you go. Sure. We're on our semifinals right now in the tournament. We have Pigs left, we have Crucible Guard, we have Roll, and we have OU left. Who do you think is going to win?
When you say Pigs, you mean Thornfall, right?
Yes.
Well, there's only one answer. There's only one answer I can possibly give you, which is Thornfall all the way.
Well, there we go.
I mean, whether they win or not, I don't know. But that's who I want to win. That's who I support.
There we go. All right. Well, we'll get back to the battle report. Thank you very much again for being here. I appreciate your time. We'll get back at it.
Thornfall Alliance deployment. For this mission, I decided to deploy pretty center. I get my Warboar and Carver in the front, and then I put Gunboar and Battleboar on the other flank with the Slaughterhouser and the Brigands on the other side with their UA. Through advanced deployment.
Old Umbrey deployment. All right, so seeing Will post up in the center, I figured that's a great plan. I'm going to do it too. So just kind of do like the standard little Old Umbrey combos. I put the Chosen off to the side so I can try to start the trading game early if possible, or just maximize as much threat range there. I put Veroni off to the side because he can hold some stuff by himself, but let's be honest, we're just going to get in the center and absolutely fight each other as much as possible. I put Strix onto the left side over there because he has enough mobility to kind of pivot where he needs to. And throw the chaff on the left.
Thornfall advanced deployment. This one, especially for this point size, is pretty easy. I just deploy my Brigands center and pray the Strix.
Then OU advanced deployment. Pretty short, sweet, and to the port. Just drop my totem. Boom.
Thornfall, turn 1. A pretty straightforward turn. I just immediately run the Brigands up, but just stay right outside of spell range. Keep him from getting any sneaky things in. Making sure they're not in the way of everything else.
Yeah, Bohdan has a lot of threat range for some pretty cool stuff that he can do.
Yeah. Gotta be very careful. And then so I activate Carver. I'm casting mobility. And then move him up just outside the wall. And then he also, before he went, he threw a Quagmire as well. Or no, he throws a Quagmire on the Brigands. Then we run up the Warboar, run up the Battleboar. Pretty easy turn, just trying to get in a good mid-board position to respond to how he moves up.
These are definitely scary if you go into them the wrong way.
Yeah, you gotta watch out. You out-threat me here on melee ranges, so I'm trying to be very aware.
Old Umbrey, turn 1. Alright, so I'm trying to stage a little bit better to try to make it to where I can do a little bit more and not get shot off the board or charged really heavily. I play Carver as well, so kind of know what he's capable of. I moved the Chosen up, and one of my favorite things to do is put the stealth one up front and then have the blind one as well there. That way if he gets one of them, he doesn't get the fire one that can possibly go into like low wound infantry units and kill them. Set them up behind the wall just to make them effectively defense 18. See here, I'm just measuring out some things about where he can go, what he can do. By far the scariest thing to me in this list is the Brigands. That and the Gunboar, because what is it? Is it Momentum Will, where it knocks something down if you hit it?
Yeah, it's momentum.
So I moved the Wardens up here, I think because I have like a little bit more of a threat than the Slaughterhousers. So just trying to get there to where I have some options if I want to send them. Let's see. Bohdan goes, he casts IR on the Farrow, then cast the Murder of Crows, which is that hazardous cloud, just to where if Will advances with those Brigands, he's possibly going to let me kill one for it. And then I put Bohdan just for some line of sight blocking because I have been shot off the board before by stuff. Then I activate the Feral. I just rile 2 and I just move him up just to try to balance out the Fury economy. Strix, I decide to rile and then run, or I rile for 2 and then I run him. Same thing as well, just trying to clog up the midboard where Will is. You see us talking a bunch because I'm terrified to make a move. Decided to throw Veroni back up there because I'm going to do my favorite play, which is just throw Veroni in the center of stuff and hope he lives.
Thornfall Alliance, turn 2. All right, so first at the start, we upkeep for free, Quagmire, and then I'll take a point of corrosion on the gun board. Kind of deciding if I want to engage or not. He does out-threat me, so I do believe I kind of have to pressure him as much as possible here. So seeing that he's out of scoring range there, I'm positioned to keep my slaughterhousers set up to where they're outside of charge range, but if he wants to take the objective, he'll have to get within match of threat. So I did advance up the brigands, kind of be a sacrificial unit to start this trade. So I advance him center board. Run a 6-man CRA into Dawn. Do hit for a little bit of damage, but miss with the second one.
See me wiping
It's
the
more of
sweat
just a
from my
pot shot.
brow.
I run the Warboar up, hopefully be in a spot to where he's not going to be threatened, or I'll at least have to clear the brigands before he gets into. But where now the Warboar can position the rest of the board on feed turn, if he survives. Battle Boar, I position him on a flank, just kind of hold down those objective pieces, set up for a counter charge. The Gunbore uses Animus Counterblast and move him into a defensive forward position. Take a shot into Styrex, hitting for a little bit of damage. Then we take Targ, move him up, have him do a little Ox shot. Don't hit. Carver's turn here. I kind of want to keep him out of assassination range, so it's still be in a good position. So move him up, clip him on that obstruction, and cast batten down the hatches. Hopefully, I can weather this this to the chin.
Old Umbrey, turn 2. Alright, so first thing I do is I put the fires out on Strix, just to get him up. I don't upkeep anything, so Bohdan can go to full, because more than likely I'm going to pop feet here. After thinking about it for a little bit, I am deciding to charge Veroni in. Even though the brigands have Quagmire and stuff, I want to try to soften the blow, and I want to minimize... me and Will had a gentleman's agreement where scoring was not going to happen this game, but I also had to play around it. So I like using Veroni as like a piece to get around some things. So start rolling some dice. I kill one of them, toughs one of them, then I believe I kill a second one. and I just repo 5 to tie up Targ and the gun bore. Then I do my favorite play, which is I just run the slaughterers up there and just let them hang out there. And I believe I play For the Motherland on them. So if they... Oh, no, I couldn't play them because I missed my window for it. My bad. So I decided to move the totem up and will counterblast and decimates the thing off the board.
Yeah, it was actually Heen and Holland if I even wanted to do that today. And then when
It's
you told me
pretty good.
the debuff or whatever, I mean, it was like, oh yeah, sure, screw that.
Yeah, that thing's insane. So now we decide to move Bohdan up. Bohdan pops feet. I cast Insight, and then I cast Murder of Crows. And about this time, looking at my phone, I realize something. I go, huh, I may have messed up on my plan, because looking at the board, Bohdan has a pretty forgiving control range, but not forgiving enough to go where I want to put everything else at. So now I'm starting to see the error of my ways and realize, well, not everything's going to be in feet range, but that's okay. I'm going to try to cave in this one side of the board and see how it goes. So I send Strix up, charge the gun bore. Hit him. Do about 7 points of damage. Really want this thing gone, and then I can try to like cave in one side of the board and kind of like take my time here. So we wind up killing him. Spend for the Animus to Lightning Strike. So I can try to get out of the range of anything else. I decided to come over this way because... to come back here because I figured if Will wanted to bring more stuff over there, it takes him off the points. And then I decide to full send with the Chosen. Probably my favorite unit in the army. They consistently just do so much, and I really enjoy playing them. And I was really hoping to take this guy out, but sometimes the go turns don't go. And we're kind of just set here kind of awkwardly.
Get a few good hits on him, though.
I just like him because I get to roll all the dice. Then I decide to play hit and run on him, just because I want to tie up as much stuff as possible. Then I realize that not everything's going to be in range. Farrow, he just moves up just to try to get me a gap in case something goes awry that I wasn't planning for. At the end of turn 2, it's to 0, and I'm hoping that I can survive the clapback.
Thornfall Alliance, turn 3. All right, so considering I didn't lose as much as I thought I was going to, I think meat's back on the menu. So I decide to hold Fateful here to bring Battle Boar back, and then just go with Upkeep and go with Carver and decide to pop feet, get this started.
I also just want to say that before Will went, he looked at me and goes, realistically, could you kill me with just Bohdan? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, because there's nothing else going to be on the table. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, at least as far as like the threats I was concerned with, I think I was under his feet. I was pretty confident I could clean up quite a bit. So we start off with the Battle Boar. He casts Primal, and then he proceeds to miss with all of his attacks.
Let me tell you, boys, you can't buy luck like that.
Yeah, so if you notice the die results here, I don't think I ever rolled higher than a 5, but I mean, it's a dice game. It happens. But that threw a quick wrench in the plan. So I'm already starting to eat the words I've said. So I go with the Brigands. I'm like, okay, if I can clear these Chosen off the Warhog, then I can go in the Cyrex and then finish up Dawn and all them. Pretty confident that can still happen. So I just need, to roll some higher than like 5s here. With like Quagmire and +1 to hit from Carver's leadership. They're pretty accurate. But yeah, we failed to really do anything to him. Just proceed to miss on the hits I did get. I didn't roll very high on the damage, so ended up whiffing with those as well.
It always sucks being on the other side of the table because, like, we're all friends here, and I'm just like, come on, Will, pop off, kill me, like, let's go. And I want to see some stuff fly, and it always sucks whenever, like, especially your friends, like, the dice aren't with them, but it's a dice game. It goes and
oh yeah, it goes and comes. So after that, I send the Bone Grinders in. I'm just trying to tie stuff up as well as hopefully do quite a bit of damage, as they can murk a War Beast pretty easily. And OU's War Beasts aren't necessarily tanky if you can land hits on them.
And you can see me here, I'm just checking for my admonition stuff for Strix because I want to move out of range of them, but I want to move also out of range of the Warhog, so the Strix can have a better line to Carver if possible for the next turn.
Bone Grinders get a few solid hits on the Farrow? Is that what the thing's called?
Yeah.
Take most of its health. Almost killed it.
Oh yeah, those things just walked over and took my lunch money. Like, I was very surprised what they could do.
You're figuring out what to do with Tar. He just ends up moving up and swinging on.
Swinging on my bird. This was another reason I wanted to tie the Slaughterhousers up, is because on the charge, they have brutal charge. They have takedown and finisher, don't they?
Yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah, we did find out that takedown does not cancel out your metamorphosis effect.
No, which I did not know that when I sent them there.
Yeah.
But it worked out very well. And then this is me just fighting back with Last Word from Bohdan's feet. trying to pick specific models in the way that I've picked them before they die because the templates are a little bit bigger, and I didn't want to choke out my units and not be able to place the shapeshifters.
Yeah, I was originally not even planning on fighting these guys until I whiffed so much health. You know, honestly, I probably still shouldn't have.
It was definitely a really weird game on both of our parts because, like, my plan went completely awry, and then your next plan went awry, and then we're just kind of standing here going, well, what do we do now?
Yeah, I think the missing half a dozen plus attacks I was kind of threw me off there for a little bit, and I just kind of forgot my goal.
So middle of turn 3, 0 to 1. Will picked up a good amount of stuff, but I still have a fight in this game. Kador, turn 3. Alright, well, I came to roll dice and chew gum, and I'm out of gum, and somehow I'm alive. So I decided to go into this and realize that this is my only time to shine, so we're going to try to do it. So after planning some stuff out, talking to Will and trying to figure stuff out, the only thing I can do is try to kill Carver. Leech 5, no upkeep. I let the Chosen move. Just try to get 2 damage to the boar. Then see me kind of pivot around a little bit, just try to think. Decide to move the Farrow up. Try to take out some of those bone grinders. Wind up killing 1. And the whole reason I'm doing this is I'm trying to clear a way for Bohdan to come up and cast Insight, because generally if Bohdan can get within 10 and cast Insight, you can pick up a lot of stuff. So I move Bohdan up, decide to cast Insight. I believe I take my attacks trying to kill. Yeah, I wind up killing the last of the bone grinders.
They're victim statted. They're cheap.
They are amazing for what they do.
Oh yeah, solid. Like one of the best units in the army.
Then we just decide to go for it. I charge Strix in, and we just full send into Carver and see if we can pick him up. I think first hit was 8 damage. Then 4. See me trying to think if I want a future sight boost or anything. And then the last hit I roll winds up hitting for 5 damage.
Hoping for a heroic tough roll.
And I got him. Just barely. By the skin of my teeth. That was a very emotional game because we both just had plans that just did not come to fruition, and without Strix having that admonition, or unfortunately if Will had hit just averages on those dice, it would have been a completely different game, and I wouldn't have had anything left on the board.
That's part of the fun of it, though, it being a dice game.
Oh yeah, that's
Close game
the best
nonetheless.
part. Yeah, that's the best part about doing this stuff is like, especially being with everybody here, like with collateral damage and everything, and it's always a good time. And I think Will and I laughed that entire game. Like there wasn't really
A lot of
much.
absurdity happened
Yeah,
on
exactly.
both sides.
And that's what I've enjoyed the most about this tournament is like making stupid stuff happen sometimes. I mean, it's a dice game, so 99% of the time, at least when I play, like the plan I have is never the plan that I finish with, just because I don't have enough reps in. But I have thoroughly enjoyed this tournament series, and I've thoroughly enjoyed playing with everybody on the collateral damage team.
Well, appreciate it, man. It's good to hear. We got a lot of good players around here, and everybody seems to want to be really involved.
Yeah, it's a great community, and I gotta say that like Warmachine, like just for super fun moments like this and like this game, it just makes me like, it feels like very, very addicting. Like I'm super hooked, and I just want to keep playing as much as possible.
It's in a good spot. Game's in a good spot. The community's in a good spot in general.
Thank you all for tuning into this battle report, and be sure to tune in next time for the next semifinals game between Mad Hammer of the Dwarves and Lucas from the Crucible Guard. Thank you, guys.